Hello and a warm welcome. Thank you, Saru, for joining in. And now we are going to hop into chapter number 12 that talks about association matters. Let me very quickly start sharing the screen. But before that, what do you think and how do you think associations matter? Hmm? Anything?
um, asso- Association with the person or situation.
Take it anyway. Understand. Well, I don't know
But
what it means to you. I just want to understand what it means to you when we
to me,
say association.
yeah, association means associating with a task. It
Mhm.
could be any other matter, but association means mainly to a person how we associate and collaborate or work with them or deal any relationship with them. So that is what I mean. I think
Wonderful.
collaborative of ideas and in and accepting them and then taking it forward, kind of.
Yes. Even for me, since we are reading about relationships, it seems to me that this relation association is related to the people we surround ourselves with. Let's
True.
understand what does Gaur Gopal has to share. Chapter number 12, Association Matters. Our relationships are stronger when they contain a spiritual component. There are three different ways to become good friends with someone. Truth is, I will never know all there is to know about you, just as you will never know all three is to know about me. Humans are by nature too complicated to be understood fully. So we can choose either to approach our fellow human beings with suspicion or to approach them with an open mind, a dash of optimism, and a great deal of gratitude, says Tom Hanks. It is hard to imagine a life without relationships. The principle of relationship is an inherent universal one that guides our lives. What would life be if we did not have others to share it with? Therefore, we must learn how to do it correctly. Although this skill is seldom taught in schools, it has been documented in ancient spiritual texts for thousands of years. For association, called Sangha in Sanskrit, is crucial to your success in this world and beyond. A man and a woman is known by the company they keep, a famous English proverb states. There is a funny story about the effect of association. Before the industrial age, a man in a village went out to perform his morning ablutions because in India in those days they would not have restrooms in the house. After he had done, he got up and put on his dhoti, turned around and looked at the stuff and said, "Disgusting! I am so good looking and handsome. I cannot believe that something so obnoxious and nasty could come from me." To his surprise, the stuff spoke back to him and said, "You're calling me obnoxious. Last night I was the delicious samosa. Look what a few hours of association with you has done to me." Our association can uplift or depress us to the lowest level. When I talk about association in this context, I do not mean general interactions. In our day to day lives, all of us will have to interact with people who may not necessarily be the best influence on us. Yet, we will have to do the needful, and such interactions are simply neutral dealings, hardly causing us any harm. Association is beyond our neutral hi hello dealings. It has to do with the level of intimacy we share with others. It is said that you are an average, of 5 people you surround yourself with. Now, that does not mean that anybody and everybody is your surrounding, right? It means the people you discuss, talk, and everything with. And if you sit amongst the beggars, you will be the sixth beggar. If you sit around with 5 millionaires, you will be the sixth. So always have a very uh, good circle with whom you hang out with whom you talk. And if you are the best in any of the rooms, know that you are not in the right room. You should always be a part of that room wherein you can learn something from others, not only be teaching. An ancient text on relationships describes 6 exchanges that can create intimacy in personal dealings. Oh my God, I cannot read that. Tadati, pratighanati, Guyam. Oh my God, I don't think I should be reading this. But yeah, there is some shloka. There is some shloka. Offering gifts and accepting gifts. Opening one's mind and inquiring in confidence. Sharing food and receiving food are the 6 exchanges that develop loving relationships. I will repeat that. Offering gifts and accepting gifts, opening one's mind and inquiring in confidence, sharing food and receiving food are the 6 exchanges that develop loving relationships. We can broadly divide these into 3 different principles. The first principle, dadati pratighanati, means giving and receiving. Intimacy is in our association begins with giving and receiving. For example, we may allow someone to use our car for a day and invite them to stay at our house, or in the modern day, sharing something even more valuable like our Wi-Fi password. And the person may in turn reciprocate and return the favor in the future. We do not exchange our things and facilities with just anyone we meet. Such an exchange occurs only with people whom we are intimate with and with those whom we want to be intimate with. It is an extra effort that we put into these general interactions that develop intimacy. Clear? The second principle is bhunkte ho jayete kaiva, which means exchange of food with each other takes our association to the next level. Why don't you come to my house for lunch this afternoon? We may say. In India, there is very popular coffee outlet and their tagline is a lot can happen over a coffee. This is true. A lot does happen over the sharing of food. There is a deep emotional bonding that happens when we break bread together. The intimacy of our connection grows deeper from just sharing things to sharing meals. Over meals and those light moments, a lot of our heart is shared, which brings us to the principle number 3. The third principle is Guyam Akhyati Prachti means we start revealing our heart in confidence and listening to the other person's revelations in confidence. When someone pours out their heart to us, we are not only understanding their point of view, but subconsciously also being influenced by their values and beliefs. Thus, intimate association is about interactions that go beyond doing a needful, beginning with sharing things, moving on to sharing food, and finally sharing thoughts, values, and beliefs. Let me give you an example of how one can get influenced to do something like smoking, even though one knows that it will kill us. Let's say there is a young student in a university who does not smoke but is friend with a person who does. Initially, they are just doing the needful, doing experiments in the laboratory, sharing notes with each other, etc. That is how the interaction begins. Slowly, they start moving up the association ladder. He allows his friend to use his bike to get to class on the other side of the town, and the friend reciprocates by letting him use his laptop to complete an assignment. It should be noted that this sharing of things is not a business deal. It is in the spirit of helping as a friend. At some point of time, they start having lunch together, making their friendship grow even deeper. Guess what? They never talk about smoking. So then, how does this guy who does not smoke get influenced by the guy who does? This occurs subconsciously. The non smoking friend is not buying into the action of smoking one, but is giving into the confidence and self esteem, the values that his smoker friend represents. And the action of smoking may simply follow as a consequence. Therefore, when we talk of intimate associations, we mean subconscious sharing of value system, which may eventually end up affecting our lifestyle choices. Wow, this is so powerful, isn't it? That is why it is said, watch your thoughts, they turn into words. Watch your words, they turn into actions. Watch your actions, they turn into habits. Watch your habits, they turn into character. Watch your character, it turns into destiny. It all begins with a thought. Traffic was moving slowly through Mumbai, but at least we were still moving. We were just approaching the Haji Ali Dargah, a beautiful place of worship built into the bay. You could see people in the distance scurrying across the bridge that leads to the white marble building. After the mosque came the Haji Ali Chowk or crossroads. We were there physically, but I also felt that we were there metaphorically. Harry was at a crossroad in his life, questioning the decisions he made in his relationships. Is it natural to feel that way because it is the nature of the world to make me feel unsettled? Our conversation was disturbed by Harry's phone vibrating in the door pocket of the car. Not wanting to distract himself, he declined the call without seeing who it was. You can take the call if you like, I said. Are you sure? He replied. I nodded. He checked his call register. Oh, it was my wife calling. After all that we had discussed, maybe I should call her back, he said, embarrassed. Definitely, I said and smiled. He pressed the number, locked his phone between his ears and shoulder, and placed both his hands on the steering wheel again. Hello, are you there? He repeated many times. Hi, I'm going to. I'm okay. Should be home soon. With your mother. A voice on the other side repeated loud enough for me to overhear without intending to do so. The signal is bad, Harry said to me. She is off somewhere. I could not make out where, but she is with mom. Should be okay. I thought nothing of it at that time. But as it turned out, she was off to somewhere very important. But we were not to know that until much later. Now, where were we? Harry quickly changed the subject. We were talking about relationships and the interactions we have with people. With my wife, I know that I have a lot to do, but most of the stress that I bring home is from work. In a corporate environment, the dynamics are odd. I must cooperate with my colleagues, but at the same time, I want to get ahead. How do I deal with my interactions at work? I told him, fun fact. I know that you spend more than 40 hours a week at work, but let's say that on average, a person spends 40 hours working between the age of 20 and 65 and gets 2 weeks holiday a year. In that time, they will have worked a total of 90,000 hours. That's a lot of time. So we better learn how to best utilize it in the right way. It was also time to explain the third wheel of life. Okay, that's the end of this wheel. So the summary says our associations is powerful. It can uplift us or bring us down. General interactions are dealings meant to do the needful and are simply neutral. Intimate dealings are built through the exchange of things, food, thoughts, values, and belief systems. Our lifestyle is affected more by another person's value system than their habits. Well, that's it. Voila. Now what do you have?
The friend story which was shared in between just moved away. Like in the sense, we don't fo- follow their habits, but we believe, we share our value systems. That in his dictionary, if smoking is not bad to that person, so automatically it turns out, this person individuality or whatever it is becomes new, similar to other person, and then we just tend to follow it. It's not only smoking, but we slowly, I think, we get from our close ones their habits usually.
Yes.
No one should be careful about it, I feel. I know association also matters, but this some things can be avoided if they are for them, if them in a
I think I lost the connection. My internet went bad. Sorry. Yes. What were you saying? Sorry, I
yeah.
just missed out on.
No problem. So that association I was speaking about, wherein with friends we can have at least a, even if we know what is our individuality, we can keep apart from themselves, detach from themselves, and maintain some boundaries or something like that. But with closed ones, very very closed ones, whom you are living with in a day-to-day basis, we just have to be very, very sure on who we are, what is our moral system, even though I'm associated with that person, but that doesn't mean I should or that person should be picking up my values too, or I should be picking up their values too.
But the
So that
problem is there
individuality.
only. That problem is there only. Whether you know it, whether you consciously adopt it or not, but subconsciously
Mm,
you adopt it. You have no other choice but to be around people who are right for you. You become who you spend the most time with. So protect your energy. Now, if you feel that people around you are not right, then it is our moral responsibility that we do not spend time with them. That's it. It's a period. I want you to, this activity we have done in many sessions, not for the book reading, but one of the challenges that I run. I would love for you to make a list of people you spend the most of your time with. And now you know the three rules of, spending time. That is, you exchange stuff. Second is you exchange food. Third is you exchange thoughts, views, ideas, whatever. What are the three people you spend most of your time with? Three or five, whatever. So many ever you have.
Mm. Yeah,
Then,
yeah, yeah.
while you were writing the names, I changed the activity. What I want you to do with this is, in front of each name, write whether this person brings the best in you or they brings out stress in you. How many are stress ones and how many are best ones?
Two are worst. Two are stress and two are best.
I would love for you to make a list of 5 people who can bring the best out of you. You know them and you know that you can get associated with them as well. You can stay in their energy. You can talk to them. You can share things with them. You can share your thoughts with them.
Yeah,
Then, now I want you
yeah,
to ask yourself this question. What does it take for me to delete those people who bring the worst out of me, who brings the stress in me out of my life, and bring the list of these people whom you have written in your closest peripheral?
very.
What is it that you need to do?
What can be done?
Yes, you need to reflect on that. What is it that you need to do?
Okay.
What can you do?
Mm. Yeah.
I am Samich, you know what you need to do. What do you need to do?
Engaging, I'm not pretty sure on answers because it is just coming out right now. Engaging with them more, meaning like, there can be a long distance friend or there can be a people very close around you whom you can spend time daily. So just make sure that I'm sharing my thought process with them, not just spending time, but sharing my thought process with them. Often with good people around us, we just spend time, but we don't share our thought process. So I think that I need to
Hmm.
shift. I need to shift. That is one main thing where I can reflect on and encouraging them to share their own thoughts as well, so that I get to know from them. And yeah,
Hmm. Wonderful. I think you have an action step to go ahead with. When you share thoughts, it's not only you who would be sharing. When they start sharing their thoughts, their ideas, That is when you will actually understand whether you need to be, whether you wish to be, whether you want to be in association with them or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. I think, yes, this is what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to, choose people you would like to associate with, and start moving intentionally towards them so that you have a better circle. Association reminds me of a story wherein my brother was once caught in the school. Uno was a new card game at that time. No, it was WWF cards. Yes. WWF cards was a new, uh, trending thing. And this boy in his group had bought those cards. And these kids were playing this WWF cards in the school somewhere. And my brother was not playing, he was just watching them, how they are playing. And when these boys were caught, my brother was also seeing them. He was sitting with them. So he was also called into the principal's room. And then from there, all the parents were called. All the parents were called. And then that day, my mom gave him a lesson. And that was, if you sit with thieves, you will be called a thief. If you sit with beggar, you will be called a beggar. I don't know whether she knew of this wording or not, that you're an average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. But that day, we all 3 kids got this lesson. चोर के साथ बैठोगे तो चोर बुलाओगे, संत महात्मा के साथ बैठोगे तो संत महात्मा बुलाओगे. You understand that?
No, I need a
So
translation
if
maybe.
you if you sit with the thieves, you will be called thieves. If you sit with the saints, you will be called a saint. So it is a choice that
Mm.
you make every single day, in every single moment. Whom are you sitting with? What are you focusing? And that day onwards, my brother was never ever found sitting with those people. And when he came first in his class, and at that time the principal used to call the parents on the stage as well. And when my parents went on the stage, they were like shocked. Oh, oh, this boy was the one who was caught with playing cards with those kids. And my dad told that principal at that time, he was not playing, he was watching. He corrected his act, and now you need to forget. And from that day, that was never discussed ever. But yes, that was a big lesson for each one of us. We are 3 siblings, and it was a lesson for us. That mind your company. How we as parents also keep telling our kids, um, be mindful of the kind of people, the kind of friends you make. Because the kind of friends you make, you adopt their habits, you adopt their lifestyle, you adopt their language, you adopt every part of them. And that's for this room as well. Anything that you would like to share before we wrap up this session, Saru?
No, Karishma, nothing as of now from my end.
Cool. All right. Thank you for being a partner in this journey of, relationships. From Monday, so we do not have a session tomorrow and day after. From Monday, we will be diving into wheel number 3, which talks about work life. I'm afraid you won't be the part of it, but yes, for the ones who are listening me, who are watching this video, you're most welcome to join. And the journey keeps moving ahead. All right. Take care. God bless you. Thank you, Saru, for being here in this room. And I hope it added value. God bless you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Good night. Have a beautifully wonderful, amazing, happy weekend. Enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy weekend.
Bye bye.